You're gonna know if this one is for you if you just got energetically vomited on. You know what I mean. It's like one of those that just there's a lot of explanation from the mind, and then no one is in the body, or there's a lot of stuff in the body, and that just sort of gets dumped in there with lots of mind stuff. What do? Well, it is a perspective shift, because if you think that someone is vomiting like this, I mean, we get it, like we've had this as well, and we get it that it sort of feels like energetically, it's like you're a little bit, what just happened type of thing. But there's a few things that we want to bring to your awareness in order to correct this energy, because this is a disturbance within you actually, and that can be a little bit tricky to see sometimes. So when someone does that, it is about the perspective. What perspective do we have about someone that does that? They are not operating their human body to the best that they can. They are not doing it deliberately, because if they knew what they were doing, they would not do it, because they would comprehend that there is consequences to do that, to just lash out energetically, even if you don't know that you're doing it. You think that you're explaining something, but then energetically there's a lot of spikes and stuff. It's so important to just get that that's where that being is at their level of awareness. It doesn't mean that it's okay, but once you recognize that there is a very fundamental thing that is actually very loving, and that is, whoa, I'm feeling that you are very much in your head right now. What's going on? What's going on with your body? You know? I almost didn't get it out. Interesting, right? It needed some clearing to get out. I see that you're a lot in your head. What's going on for your body right now? Because it feels there's a lot of feelings at once, and it doesn't really know what to do with it, so it sort of spikes a little bit. I've done that, so I get it. It's nothing to blame another person for. It's just, hey, are you okay? Like, because I'm sensing a lot of stuff going on here that is not being spoken. It can just be like that, you know? But sometimes we have the habit of just listening and letting the person speak, because that's seen as loving, to let someone talk and let someone be finished. Yes, that is the indoctrination, but it is not loving if you think about the ramification for that being to keep doing that with their energy, to sort of spike like that, you know? That is not healthy for that being. So that's the first thing to recognize. That's just the truth. Because when they behave like that, but then another thing is like, maybe they're not ready to see anything. So who am I to say anything? However, that can be a good injection point, because you can sense that there is just a lot of stuff here. Too much here, less here. You know? That's the thing. And if you get to be fast enough before the moment has passed and there is another moment, That's the game, really. That's the training that we're meant to do here, so that we can look at our brothers and sisters with love, but also with our own development in mind. Like, okay, I can't keep doing that because that doesn't feel good to me and my body, so I better inject something to stop that. And that's just sort of like a pattern interrupt, really. It's just about getting a bit agile with your energy, you know, but in a positive way. You know, that's what we're training. And so when you know those things, this is a very clear thing, that once you train and you focus there, next time, and you start to inject, because once you see it correctly, which is just what we did right now, we are course correcting how we're seeing things, so that we're seeing it through the energetic truth, which is the truth of the body. That's what this is. That's what we're doing here every single day, so that you can get some help to untangle some of these knots, because some of them are a little bit like a nut, you know, to really get straightened out, so that you are having your own energy and not other energies twisting your field. And if someone can sense that you have other energies in your field, that's actually love. And, you know, even show you how to do it, then it's a lot of love, you know. Hope you received lots of love. Let's see, what else? Yes. And so, once you have corrected enough of these perspectives, then there is a process of integrating that into your body. At some point, when your body has had enough of energetic truth, it will just sort of sleep, perhaps, or do something else for a while to sort of reset. You know, like sometimes it's just, okay, now I've heard enough of this. Now my body wants to go out and play or swim or whatever it is. And your body has this natural process with that. Your body has this natural sense that it's very easy to sort of superimpose, to sort of think that you know better than the body. That's what many people are in. You know, especially beings that are pushing their frustration from the body. The body's frustration. Of like, hey, this knower doesn't know. That's sort of the feeler's frustration sometimes within the system. That's what we can hear. But then it's not up to us to interfere if the other being doesn't want to. However, if you are in a situation, it's just about training your ability to be a bit more agile with how you present that care. And for that, when we have the correct perspective, that it is just someone in a little bit of a frustration. And then it's up to us to feel, to sort of, we know that it's very important for people sometimes to feel heard. But sometimes it's more important to be felt than heard. Sometimes it's like that. But if you don't know that, then and then introducing other things like frustrations and this and that, and you should behave this and that, or whatever the story is. It's like so much stuff that can happen in a brain. You know, we used to follow that stuff too, until we figured out that that's not the way. And then now we are operating our body completely different, which we are teaching here. And so with that change, we are just much happier. Because when your system, this knower and feeler, is in alignment, you become much happier. Much more joyful, much powerful when you need to be. And that is just, have you seen yogis? They're usually like that. Because they're, at least these masters that came before, nowadays it's a little washed out. People that are masters nowadays in the yogic, they are masters still. But the ones that are promoting themselves a lot usually tend to not. Some do still if they promote themselves. You know, the body knows. You don't know. You have to feel the body for that. And all of these things can only be deciphered when you have truly made practical applications of what we're speaking of. If you're just making this into some kind of intellectual thing, that's not it. But in the beginning it will be. So don't sweat it, you know, because everyone is at different levels here at this game. We just have to know what is progression in this consciousness game. Otherwise we're just fooling ourselves, right? And so we have to know what intuition is. It's not some magical thing. It doesn't come from up here. It comes from it does, but it comes from an alignment through the body, from up here down to Gaia, that you can verify in feeling. That's when you know what you are getting is of value and in alignment with your soul's development, right? Because we are only talking about the connection now. And then there is a lot of comprehension that needs to happen for a human being here with a body to operate like this fully, if they're used to being in their head so much. Because sometimes it's just habit of thinking. Has nothing to do with your spiritual abilities or development. Sometimes it's just the habit of thinking is what makes it so. That's it. And the only remedy is to change the habit, to inject the balance, the sort of counterbalance, to get it back in harmony. That's all what's needed. And for that, a lot of honesty is needed. That's what you need to... That's what's needed to get back in your body, a lot of honesty. Not just talk from up here. That's not really talk. Relaying information, stories. It's the sentiment of the body. That's how you connect with another human being. You don't connect through the intellect in the same way. The body is just like, what the heck is going on here? It's like the body is just like, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And then a lot of whoa going on here. And if you have learned how to cleanse your field, and you are doing that regularly, which we highly recommend, then you will feel. You can train how to read people. you are much better equipped to learn when you know what your energy is. And when you stop doing the things within your consciousness to sort of superimpose thinking that you know better than the body. And there's a lot of these like little quirks that people just pick up and continue as if it's theirs. It's not theirs. Every distorted way of operating this human body has nothing to do with who you are. You are much more divine than that, you know? Like, we're talking about your essence of your energy coming through and opening up the pathways for that so that you can truly come through and not living a life of quiet desperation because you don't think that you can do anything else, you see? So, if you wish to shift with us, every step along the way, we are course correcting the mind so that we are in alignment with this holistic perspective. You're more than welcome. Please let us know in the comments how you found this. Did you resonate with this? We would love to know what came up for you. All right, take care. We'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao.